Relax, it's connecting. Apparently, Opie, we are live.
Oh, right now, David?
Yes, we are very much live.
That's incredible. Hello, everybody. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. My name's Opie. I'm a psychic medium from Winnipeg Beach, Manitoba. Uh-oh. I, I see I have a flash sale on my comments there. I don't know how to get that off.
That's fine. Just that's fine, Opie. I can show it on screen as your flash sale.
Oh my God, that's
Those
so
of you,
funny. That is old. Welcome, and my good friend, soul brother, David Ellis. How are you this evening? Is
I'm pretty good. Pretty good.
that eclipse energy still going? Because I have to tell you, it's been one heck of a day, has it not?
It's been a heck of a day all around the world.
Yes, yes. Now, listen, if you're just tuning in, don't forget you can comment below. This is on multi platforms right now, and David and I will be able to answer any question, right, David?
Correct, because we have an integrative chat. So if you guys want to comment or ask any questions, you could just comment on social media, and social media will push the notifications to our studio, which we are broadcasting from right now.
Yes, it's very exciting. Let's see if you guys can see us below. Give us a heart, give us a thumbs up, give us something down below. Can you hear us? Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're good on all channels right now.
Good, good. Now listen, we have some exciting stuff to let out of the box tonight, okay? I have been keeping secrets from everybody, but until then, I really wanted to share with everybody David because
Hmm.
David and I connected at my audience read in November, right, David?
Yes, we literally bumped into each other.
And it was funny because I had watched podcasts of him before, but of course, being
Mhm.
the rookie medium I am, I think it was your first introduction to me, correct?
It was my first introduction.
And unforgettable.
It was. It was. And I'm actually happy that I went to that trade show. It was a wonderful trade show.
Oh, that's amazing. It was a really fun evening. And as I got to know David, you have an incredible history, not only connected to spirituality, but also like supporting people in a multifaceted way, right?
Yes. Well, yes, I have a long history in healthcare and spirituality.
I love it because you can bring both dynamics. Whereas I have a lot of life experience, you do as well. You have a lot of education behind you, but a lot of hands on with the spirituality. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it started with teaching yoga when I was very, very young, and I moved on to different aspects of spirituality because it's a lifelong thing, it's a learning process. Right now, I support people who are into spirituality, who's just trying to get up and moving where this is concerned, because really and truly, spirituality has taken quite a hit over the last few years. People have lost their way ever since that thing that happened in 2020, and they're just trying to survive. So, what I do is I help a lot of people who um, are spiritualists like you, and you are not a rookie by any means, OP. That I'm going to call you out on that false humility there. OP is not a rookie, she is the real thing. So, what I want to do is actually try to help people who are into spirituality, because if we don't do something, I think that spiritualists will be marginalized over the next few years or so.
Well, and it was interesting too because I said to you, us in the community, we have to shine a little brighter right now
Yeah.
so that we can each find each other and support each other and have a connection of community of authenticity because I think there is a huge disconnect right now. Do you agree?
Oh, there's definitely a disconnect between people just going about their lives, and people have moved off purpose a lot of the times, right? And that's happened to all of us. We wake up and we're like, maybe we should just be doing something else.
Yeah. Well, and it's quite the commitment. The thing is, with spirituality, you're always looking deeper within.
Yes.
And then you're bringing forward more and more information as you learn with your community, which is the most important part about our work, is continually looking within and our experiences and growing from that. Do you
Yeah.
agree with that?
Yes. Yes, a lot of people tend to um, get expansion when it is that they are in practice. Okay. And the problem is, it's like what happened to us before this scheduled broadcast. I just want to say something to your audience. It's like if you are in a particular path and you're trying to do something good, I want to tell you what I just told Opie. There will always be barriers and things coming at you to take you
Yeah.
off that path. Opie and I had techno gremlins just getting on Instagram out of this world. You would not believe the amount of techno gremlins we've had.
It's true. And I find that that happens with anything when we're trying to do something significant or positive or expansive.
Mhm.
All of a sudden, you're going to be met with just mayhem. And that's when you really have to dig in even more and pursue the passion around it.
Correct. Correct. And we were persistent. Opie's on a phone right now. I'm on a computer. Instagram tried to block us from doing this live. Facebook tried to block us from doing this live. Opie's camera tried to block us from doing this live, but we're doing the live and we're being very, very, very um, stubborn about it. And so I think a lot of people need to hear this as well.
I agree completely with that. And it's interesting too. What do you think is the biggest challenge that you see in the community right now of people who are actively engaging in pursuit of support or spirituality or growth?
If you are in the community and you are on the practitioner side, your biggest challenge is going to be tech.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's so true.
So I don't know if you guys know, but ever since this COVID thing, the tech giants have made everything difficult for you guys.
Yeah.
Building a
Well,
website, they want to charge you money for that. For if you're a lot of people in tech exploit people. Okay. So if you want to get your business up and running, as an example, just from the practitioner side, what happens is that they charge you what, $3,000 for a website.
it's a lot. Yeah.
So I knew that this was going to happen. This is why I went to school to help these practitioners, because in this age of AI and so on, you don't actually have to be struggling. You don't.
It's amazing. And I think the interesting thing is that there's such a demand for us to be on so many platforms now and connect to so many different communities with
Mhm.
different requirements. And to be able to understand it or even the back ends of things, I don't think people understand how many challenges you encounter as you try and grow or try and expand your community through the online networking.
Do you know how many practitioners in this space have given up on
Yeah.
their businesses because of the stress of trying to set something up?
Or
I have
even
met
just doing posts.
people
It's
have
very hard.
people have given up in this space. And I want to say something to the practitioners. A lot of people who want to do good stuff, whether in the wellness space, get out there and they want to, set up a business. I don't care whether it's Reiki. I don't care whether you're doing, like, I don't know, orthopedic surgery or whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
Sometimes you need to ask for help.
it's hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know. I remember, like, when we first met, I'm like, Opie, nothing is difficult.
And I'm like, really?
The look on your face was hilarious. And it's important to be able to show people that nothing is really that difficult. Um, and this is what I want to do. I want to show people that you don't have to give up on your dreams just because people put a lot of barriers in your path. Okay.
I love how heart-centered you are. I think that's why we really connected so well, is because we are so passionate about what
Mhm.
we pursue. We are so passionate on empowering people
Mhm.
and bringing more and more voice out there in supporting more people who are needing support these days, whether it's through tech or communication or just even different avenues of connecting to people.
Yes.
Aw,
Hey,
Kimberly says
Kimberly.
no, you're not alone. I think no, you're not. I don't know what.
So thanks, Kimberly. And that's her.
Kimberly.
She's messaging from YouTube. So, guys, once again, if you guys are watching this broadcast and you want to be able to communicate with us, just comment on the social media platform. It's going to come into the studio and
I
we'll
love
put your
it.
comment on screen. Okay. So, um, I also wanted to introduce Opie to a wider audience because Opie, you are one of the very few psychic mediums that are the real thing, the genuine thing, and a lot of people need to know that. So, what I wanted to do as well is just expose you to people that are in my community and people that are in your community. I guess will get to know who I am in this broadcast. If you guys have any tech questions, you can ask us. If you have any questions at all, you can ask us in the chat and so on, and we will give you that advice for free.
Yes.
This is a one time offer, this is a live offer. So if you need tech advice or anything like that, we will give you that advice for free.
Yes, or even just understanding building a business or building a community, anything around those regards. I mean, I think one of the things that I love so much about my work is the community of folks that I've attracted. They are so incredibly passionate, heart-centered,
Yes.
empowering. It's incredible when you can find your peeps.
Yes, yes, it's extremely important to find people who um, resonate with what it is that you're doing, right?
Yes.
And the reason why that is because without community, people tend to fold easily, right?
Yes.
And
Well,
so, yeah, even just me and you, just riffing about stuff and the challenges of life and the challenges of stuff, um, makes me feel better. I know,
oh,
right? And I've been in this for a very, very long time.
yeah. Not that long, David. You're only what, 22?
Yeah, I'm only 22. Correct. So,
Let's
so,
be modest.
right. And so, guys, yeah, once again, if you have any questions for OP, OP is a medium, and I have background in psychology, wellness, and spirituality. Just drop it into the chat, and we will absolutely let you guys have the answers. And if we don't have the answers, we will tell you what we think at least.
Yes, yes. And I love that you have the psychology component
Hmm.
because I would like to drop our first surprise in the chat as well.
Okay.
Um, David has helped me with my Transcending Triggers course
Hmm.
that has officially launched today.
Yes.
So I'm very excited about this. Now, if you took part in my 5-year anniversary of business, you already got the free course in your email. So I'm so excited for that. But those folks that are tuning in now, you can also access this, and we have a 50% off discount code for the next 24 hours, David.
Yes, we do. And we set it up easily too. All right. And so, guys, what the Transcending Triggers course is about is to help people with emotional regulation. A lot of people, especially nowadays, people are just in a state of constant hypervigilance.
Yeah.
And so, what the course teaches you is from the spirituality side and the psychology side, how to manage your triggers and how to cope with overwhelm.
We combined both worlds, and I think we did incredible.
Yes, I actually like that course, and it
It's
was
so
fun making
good.
it. and it was fun making it. So, guys, if you are interested in something like that, or you know somebody who needs this, please just reach out to us. By the way, you can reach Opie, I believe, at Opie's Connection at gmail.com.
Yes, Opie's Connection at gmail.com, but don't forget my website, and it's just O and then a P connection.ca. So from there you'll be able to purchase it on there and have access to it, and it's quite exciting to share with everybody because I feel as though people are really overwhelmed a lot of the times these
Mhm,
days,
mhm.
and they really want support on the strong emotions that are ignited even just from being on social media. It can be challenging sometimes. Things can really pop up that you're not expecting.
Like a camera that's not working.
OMG, I was flash red. My face was redder than my hair.
And sometimes you need to be calm. Here are the things that you guys would need to know about the transcending triggers course. Let's give a few tidbits. As an example, the holy pause. We
I
had to do a
love
lot of
that.
holy pausing. For those of you who don't know what the holy pause is, it's kind of like when you reach that point of complete trigger,
And
you
the breath.
stop, stop,
And
breathe,
in fact, David loves to remind me, breathe, because all of a sudden I'll hold my breath. And it's funny too, because lately at home, all of a sudden I'll hear David's voice go, breathe, breathe, Opie.
breathe it out. The holy pause. Just pause for 10 seconds before you make your next move and decisions. And then all of a sudden, the universe opens up to you and you have options.
Yeah, yeah, and reflection points too as well. Like what was actually triggered within you is a really important thing too. Later on, not in it, people.
Yeah. So let's talk about the triggers that people are pretty much experiencing in the last year, 2 years, and so on.
Hmm.
I think everybody, whether you're in Canada or the US or you're watching this wherever you are watching this in the world, or you're watching the replay on Facebook or whatever the case may be, I think one of the major problems that people are having is a problem of just trying to survive financially.
Oh my goodness, it's so real. And here's the thing about financial struggle, it's a suffocation that's private.
Hmm.
People hold a lot of shame around it, and a
Hmm.
lot of people do not understand the complexities or the layers around financial challenges.
Hmm. Yes.
It
Uh,
it's detrimental, really.
And when you have shame around something, you are truly alone.
You really feel it.
Hmm.
I remember during my path, I went through extreme financial challenge where we had to choose what bill got actually paid, what
Yeah.
didn't. And sometimes we survived just on eggs, flour, water, and milk with the kids. And I would try and create all these foods just so that they could eat different things like that. And people couldn't understand that I couldn't go out because I didn't have the gas. I couldn't go and get a coffee with you because I couldn't pay for it, and I had too much shame to ask for help to be a part of that experience with somebody. So when people are sharing they're having financial challenges, know that that's just the tip of the iceberg, and there's a lot more that you don't have privilege to knowing.
Yeah, I think things have become a lot more stressed for people.
Mhm.
Um, I see, and I actually did a recording on this week. Most of the major companies around the world, whether it be tech or whether it be travel, telecommunications, have become um, 1,000 times more exploitative.
Hmm.
So a lot of people are struggling just to make ends meet. A lot of people are struggling with the bills and they see no hope. And the point of all of this is to keep, I think, people in a sort of hypervigilance where they can't see the light at the end of the tunnel because there is no light, right? And then
Yeah.
you have to stay silent about it 9 times out of 10 because of the shame, and then nobody speaks, nobody reaches out, nobody asks for any help, which is why we're seeing a disengagement of people all over the world.
Oh, yes. And even just the struggling thought cycling that happens with that, you really feel like a prisoner.
Yes.
You feel like a prisoner to self because you're limited in so many ways in your day-to-day experience, and then in the solitude of your home,
Hmm.
you're in constant state of fear and anxiety and anticipation.
Yes, this is true. I think a lot of people, when it is that they decided that I gotta see about the business of life.
Mhm.
So the concept of, I don't know, clearing their house of bad energies as an example, this took a back seat because when you have kids
Yeah,
and you have bills and
yeah.
you have everything on your back, it makes it very difficult to maintain this level of self care. It makes it almost impossible. And people do try. I don't think that they don't try. They try and they try to reach out sometimes in their own way, right? But they don't realize there are some times that you actually have to reach out to your community and reach out to other people who can help you. And yeah, that's a hard thing because they think that reaching out, if I have to tell my problems to somebody, it doesn't have to be OP, it doesn't have to be myself, right? If I have to reach out, it's like I need to pay for it somehow.
Oh, yes. When really there are a lot of things that you can access for free that can kind of fuel your bucket. For example, online reads with Opie.
Correct. You can access that for free.
I
And
love to
for
do those.
and for those practitioners who are listening to this who don't have resources, we
Mhm,
developed a community at community.universalcitizentv.com. If you join that community, we have AI tools in there that you can use for free, completely for free. So you don't have to get into this spot where there is no hope.
yeah. And David, you're honestly an incredible resource on teaching and
Mhm.
sharing different ideas, concept, tools, all these different things are extensions of you that
Mhm.
really make a significant difference.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Don't just
Um,
yeah that. You step into that, my friend. You own that.
Yeah, so I create AI tools for people to make their lives easier.
Mhm.
This was something that I wanted to do when this COVID thing hit. Okay, because what happened was that people were locked into their houses. They couldn't transition their business, so a Reiki person or massage therapist couldn't meet their clients. Obviously, that had an impact on their income. So we created this community called the Universal Citizen Media Community, which was off of social media because social media in and of itself was extremely exploitative. They censored how people were speaking about anything, and they were treating people very badly. So we created
Mm,
this community where people could meet and talk freely without censorship and promote their businesses, whether they wanted to transition online.
I
The
love
net
that.
result was that we helped quite a lot of people survive and weather that storm because people were going stir crazy. They were.
They were going listen, it was a lot for us folks. Like, I was working full time. I was building my business, stepping into my spirituality.
Mhm.
The kids are home with school. You're working and homeschooling kids. Well, navigating that, right? It was everything that you could never imagine happening, and you were in it. It was nuts.
Yep. And the thing about it is that a lot of people, when this all this stuff happened, even now we're seeing the after effects of it.
Mhm.
People are still in the insular phase. They're not going to reach out because the pressures are still there. I think that the impact of all of that stuff will be seen for years to come.
It
Okay.
was very interesting too, David's story. There was a huge support for the small shop. And then everybody that I talked to,
Hmm.
there was a period of time about 6 months after, it just went silent. And then all of a sudden they got a little bit ripple in the fall. It was later, and then everybody else disappeared again. All the small shop business folks that I know or the entrepreneurs are like, where is everybody?
Well, let's look at it this way. During that time, I moved from one province in Canada to another.
Hmm,
And when I moved to this new province, there were, because of my dietary restrictions, there was only a few places that I could eat.
that would be really hard.
For my, for those of you who don't know, I don't eat meat. And so what happened was that all of these mom and pop shops were really struggling. And
Yeah.
it was really sad to see some of the best places that you used to love just closed down. Why? Because they couldn't transition to an online type environment. And even the practitioners, we used to have a big community of spiritual practitioners around. There were people that were into spirituality. Now, when you have events and so on, like you're maxing out at probably 30 and so on, well, people like you, Opie, we've crushed that.
Yeah.
We've got, there's small time numbers, but honestly, you have people that don't have the time to because they feel that they're on this wheel like a hamster running and running to nowhere, because the
Hmm.
next day is going to be the same running, and you have to decide whether or not this is how you want to live your life.
Yes. At a certain point, you have to stop and see what is the most impactful thing that is important to you or the best extension of self through this.
Yeah,
Is it resonating? Is it connecting? Is this the purpose? Is this where I want to put my time and energy? Where do I need to? But where is it going to fuel me?
yeah, yeah. I think when it comes to people trying to live a life that is full of joy, of some kind of joy, it becomes very difficult if you're living in a state of continuous overwhelm.
Yeah, the trauma.
And there's a trauma response that is happening,
Hmm.
because people generally like to think of trauma as a past event that is affecting them. But that's not actually what the reality is. Trauma lives with you every day of your life in the recesses of your mind.
Yes. Yes, it does.
The other mistake I think people make is that they think that trauma is something that has to be some big event, right? So if you, like, I don't know, a car accident or something, that's a big event, and people think that trauma is this big event.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. If I say something mean to you, that could be traumatic to you.
Oh yes, the and trauma can be the closest people that you would never expect it. It can be betrayal, absence, a disagreement that is created into a whole different dynamic.
Yeah, yeah,
Nobody can share opinions anymore, David, apparently.
yeah. There is that. There is that. Trauma can come from the people that are closest to you. And the
Hmm.
thing about it is that we have we've developed this system whereby people are experiencing trauma, but they don't even know that they're experiencing it anymore because they ran themselves into a numb situation.
Yes.
So, as an example, if you have seen a lot of life, you would have a reaction to suppressed trauma.
Yes.
And so, when things happen, you go into this numb state. Just because you go into the numb state and you're not experiencing it as much as you would like, does not necessarily mean that it's not having an impact inside of yourself. It's going to show up eventually. So be very careful with this construct, right? People need to learn these little things, because and there's the other side of the fence where people call everything trauma. Oh, you don't agree with me? I'm traumatized by that.
Yeah.
No, no.
And can we also talk about the grief connected with it? Because all trauma that I've known has grief connected to it, but not all grief has trauma connected to it. Yeah?
Yes, I would have to say yes.
Yeah, I think the train agrees with us.
Yeah. So as an example, if you and we're going to work this concept because Opie, I believe you have a group coming up called Grief Connection, which is the one of the
David,
best
nobody knows
movements.
yet. You just let the
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let's talk about grief.
we
That's
just let the
another
cat out of
that's
the
another
bag.
surprise that Opie has for y'all that I just spoiler alert. Okay, let me explain to you that when you're talking about trauma and grief, you can have trauma and be
Yes,
grieving,
yes, yes.
but it's very seldom that you have grief without trauma. For sure not.
Yeah, well, there can be grief with loss, right? And I guess that would have trauma with it as well, no?
Correct.
Yes, because it's the impact, the uncertainty, the anticipation of it or in the experience and afterwards. And I find that there's not a lot of support systems for individuals experiencing this. There's not a lot of resources. I know as a psychic medium, people come to me and
Mhm.
I can only support them so much in a session, but I found that there's a huge gap afterwards.
Yes.
And people are needing a community, people are needing validation, and grief shows up in every aspect of our lives.
I want to say something here. Grief impacts people differently. Grief impacts the genders differently. Trauma impacts the different genders differently. So, as an example, it has been my experience that when men experience trauma, they try to suppress it.
Mm.
It's social stigmatism. I'm a man. I can take it. I can take it. That would be an example of what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I think women, generally speaking, and I wouldn't know because I haven't lived in that body, but I'm going to just put it out there as a thesis, as a theory. I think women operate like a web. And what that web does is that if you mess with anything on that web, it impacts the entire web structure. Okay?
yes,
So there's
yes,
no compartmentalization that happens. So, as an example, Opie, if something is wrong with your kids,
yeah,
something is wrong with your entire life.
yeah, it kind of ripples in.
Yeah, something. It's like that pebble in the water, right? It just ripples out to the entire construct. So when we're approaching these things and we say that community is important for the men, it is important for the men. And that's the other thing. Men don't
Mhm.
look for community because I'm a man, I'm a rock, let me stand firm. Right? We have people, we need men's groups, and I'll tell you why. Because a lot of the trauma that men have can be resolved if they actually talk about the
Oh,
situation.
100%. A
But
100%.
but they're not going to talk about it with the women or their spouses. They're not going to do that.
You
Trust me
know,
when I look. I have had too
listen,
many clients.
I've had some great male clients come to me and really want to process and dive in and connect to the emotional. I feel like there's a beginning shift of safety now where men are feeling a little bit more supported in exploring it in spiritual modalities.
That's true. And then you have to also take into account, OP, you're a little bit different than the regular spiritual
I
counselor.
am. I
So
am.
you're a little bit different than the regular. You are very, very different than the regular spiritual counselor. That's
Yeah.
why we love you.
Thank you.
Right?
It's true.
This
I
is why
have,
we love you. You are a little bit different. You are very real and very direct. Let me
yes.
tell you the stuff. If you are a spiritual counselor and you are serving men, let me tell you, I'm going to just put it out there from a psychological point of view, the mistakes that I have seen made. You cannot approach a man when he is stressed and in grief and in trauma with hypotheticals.
Mm,
I'll explain to you
I
what
like
I mean by
facts.
that.
I like facts.
Right? You can approach him with hypotheticals. So you can tell him, oh, well, if you just open your heart, vague, and then let the sun shine in, vague and spurious, then you will experience an understanding that is beyond your, present recollection. No,
No,
no, don't
no.
say no, 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 don't do that. That may work for certain kinds of women because they're understanding, and they because especially when a woman has children, there's a heart-centeredness that has to happen. Okay,
Yeah.
men have been conditioned to do something different, and it is the difference that we see between men and women. When
Yeah.
a woman comes to you, as an example, as a spiritual person counselor, whether you're a counselor or on the spiritual side, and says to you, gee, I'm really in grief and trauma, and you say, well, step one, you need to get off your butt, get some self-care practicing, whatever else. And the woman is looking at you like,
Yeah.
no, I'm
There's
hurting.
there's
I'm actually
complexities,
hurting.
there's layers, right? There's emotional complexities there. There's layers to it. Whereas I find with my male clients, they love my factual approach.
Yes, yes.
Concrete tools. We want concrete tools. I want concrete tools.
Which is why I say you're a little bit different than the regular, you know,
Yeah.
spiritual counselor. Because, and I think part of what makes you different is that you're authentic because you've actually been through things,
Mm,
so you could actually tell people about things.
yes.
Okay.
Yes. And also, I was a data analyst for years and an engineer's daughter. So I like facts. I like structure. I like details.
Opie
I
is
like
the nerd. You just outed yourself as a full nerd. All right. Which
just
which which is a very odd mix when it comes which is a very odd mix when it comes to the concept of you being a spiritualist and so on, because the heart-centeredness meets data analyst.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, like, if somebody's just going home and just hold space, yes, you hold space, but it's also like the processing and understanding and releasing. Like, I really like pen to paper. I think that is the most powerful tool anybody can use in
agreed.
emotional depth, awareness, releasing, understanding, purging, allowing the throat chakra to be empowered. Because if you can't speak it, you can sure as heck write it or just scribble it or just write swear word after swear word and you feel like you're actually releasing.
Thank you for bringing that up because I wanted to dive into the spiritual components of grief and trauma.
Mm-hmm.
I want to explain to y'all, and I'm going to probably use the East Indian chakra system to explain this to you. When it is, you know that grief and trauma is going to manifest itself physically as an illness eventually,
Mm-hmm.
is when you get that energetic ball in your throat. And all of you who are listening to this know exactly what I'm talking about. It's when you can't talk, that ball that happens inside here.
That's cement.
Yes. And so when that happens, you have a problem. You have a major problem because guess what's going to happen? It's a warning that we're about to go systemic. The grief is about to go systemic on your system. It's
Mhm.
going to drag your energy away from you. It's going to make you feel like depressed, and then you are in a cycle.
Yeah. You're hurting yourself.
You're hurting yourself. But a lot of people don't get the warning labels
Yeah.
quickly enough.
Yeah. I remember for years I bottled, was
Mhm.
always kept everything inside. And when I just got to a point of no beeps given, I started I started trying to speak and it cracks. Your voice cracks, it goes weak. It's
Mhm.
embarrassing because you're trying to, and then after you're analyzing, and it comes out clear when you're alone. But then eventually you start working through it and it's chaotic because what happens is everything amplifies and it comes out messy, it comes out intense, it comes out ragey, it comes out emotional, it just purges all these condensed emotions within us and then it stabilizes, and that is unstoppable when you
Correct.
find it. Oh,
Correct. There's a song. There's a popular pop song that actually embodies what you're saying there. Right. A lot of people have they get choked up inside, right? And they're trying to speak, but they can't speak. And there's a fatigue that happens, and I call it soul fatigue. The soul
Mm,
fatigue is something that happens inside yourself.
yeah.
You become, it's not depression. It's a, it's a,
Complacent.
it's a full fatigue that emanates from inside out. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of women have experienced that. And I mean, if you're in the chat, you could just tell us whether you've ever experienced soul fatigue. It is a tiredness so that even when people are speaking to you, like even their voices are irritating. That is the
Yeah.
soul fatigue that happens.
Yeah.
When you are getting to these levels, it means that this is a critical mass you're reaching in terms of your stress levels. So just from the psychological and the physical point of view, when you reach those levels, it means that things are about to go systemic.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say systemic, it means that it's going to manifest in your physical body. Okay. Now, a lot of people are harboring trauma.
Yeah.
If you drive to work tomorrow, if you're driving on the road right now, hopefully you're not listening to this while you're
No
driving on the
judging.
road. Right. If you're driving on the road right now, look into, not that I'm telling you to take your eyes off the road, but you reach a street light, look around you.
Yeah.
Look into the cars of the people around you. See that look on their face. It's not the same as 2013,
Yeah.
2010, when the people were a little bit less happy. So a lot of people are carrying around a lot of grief and trauma. I think things have become harder and people are becoming a lot more um, traumatized. And there's another thing that I want to say is that there's a hypersensitivity has increased.
Oh
So
yeah.
people are going to something what we call in nutrition a calcium shell. I'll explain to you what a calcium shell is. It's when you have reached enough trauma and you shell yourself. It's
Mm,
like an armoring as well, but you are in such a bad state, right? That everything is triggering you. It's like this layering and layering. This is the kind of stuff we want to stop people from getting into.
yeah.
I always ask people, do you remember a time when you were happy? Do you remember happy? Like stupidly happy?
Yeah.
Like you could make silly comments because you're happy? Or did y'all forget? Or is that something y'all say, oh, my children, the children can be happy, but me not that way?
Yeah. The self-sacrifice.
And honestly, Opie, one of the things that I really appreciate about our friendship and knowing you is the fact that we laugh all the damn time.
Yeah. Because here's the thing. I got one life to live. I want to enjoy it. Honestly, I gave so many years to the grind, to just getting through it and, sacrificing myself. And after a certain point, when you start to learn who you are, you're like, you know what? I want to be me. I want to love it. And I love joy. It is such a powerful experience. And I want everybody in my world connected to me to experience it as well.
Yes, and at some point in time, one of the things that OP can teach you, forget about everything else that is OP.
Yeah.
One of the things that OP can really teach you is how not to give a bleep.
Yeah.
Because let
Yeah.
me tell you, sometimes you got to learn those skill sets.
Well, and it's hard because usually we give a beep about the people that we love most. And we want that validation. We want that approval. That we want the recognition that we are doing our best and how hard we are working that they choose not to see.
Yeah.
They always, I find the people closest to us throw the most impactful judgment towards us.
Yes.
And that really can either destroy somebody at their weakest moment
Mhm.
or push them to the point of not caring anymore. And that is a dangerously empowering state to be. And I've got pushed to that point, and you grow from that point. You grow.
Thank you for bringing that up
You're welcome, David. It's like I'm a
because,
psychic.
yeah, yeah, that's where I was going absolutely next. That's where I was going next, actually. Honestly speaking, listen, guys, a lot of here's the other thing that is stressing people out.
Mm,
I think a lot of people who are watching this right now and people who will be watching this after the fact, whether on YouTube, whether on Facebook, or whether on Insta, we're streaming to multiple platforms. A lot of y'all are afraid to speak now.
Hmm.
A lot of people are afraid to speak. I think people generally have reached the point where they're afraid to speak because they're afraid of pushback from people.
Yeah.
And I'm here to say that I have no problem, and neither does Opie, expressing exactly what's on our minds. And let me tell you, it's a wonderful, empowering state, and you
Hmm.
really should try it out,
Yeah.
right? Because let's face it, nothing that you say, you can't please all the people all of the time.
And why would you want to?
Exactly.
And here's the thing too, I think people are so disconnected from self that they hide a lot of things as well, which impacts stuff. So it's hard to keep track of who you're not. When you lead who you are and authentically and pursue and connect to who you are and know who you are, nobody can shift that. Nobody can rock that. Nobody can alter that,
Yeah.
because that's where the strength comes from. And the biggest thing is to invest in yourself, learn who you are so
Mhm.
you know how to show up in this world for other people around you. And if they have issues with it, maybe they're not meant for you.
Yeah. And that's the hardest thing to tell people because sometimes it clicks a little bit late. You would
Hmm.
tell, let's say, a client, yeah, maybe that person is not right for you, which is something that, is plain and straight,
Yeah. For us,
but it won't
energetically,
click.
it's like a yes or a no. There's no in between.
Yes. That's one thing that we can agree on.
It's
Honestly
hard.
speaking,
It's hard, but it's like sometimes it's just a no, people. Just run.
a lot of people are putting themselves through unnecessary amounts of grief and
Yeah.
pain and suffering because they think that a situation will change and it 9 times out of 10 won't. And if you are listening to this broadcast and you're thinking, I wonder if they're talking about me, yeah, we're talking about you.
Well, and it's the fear of the other side of it. And let me tell you something. You don't need to settle anymore, because your person, your equal, that connection point that is out there is actually out there. Okay,
Mhm.
it's, you don't have to make somebody into it. You can actually find that soul. But the more you refuse to let go of that person that keeps inflicting pain in your life and the fear of what that looks like, the longer the delay is.
Yeah, and I think they're afraid of that grief of loss of an individual, even though the individual may or may not be a negative force in your life.
Mm.
I
The
guarantee, I guarantee you that when you are in a situation, let's take the obvious situation, which is a relationship situation,
Yeah.
where you know somebody is a very, very negative force in your life,
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
you stay inside that relationship, right? Because you're afraid of being alone.
Yeah.
People tell themselves a lot of nonsense. You have women who are staying in relationship because they're either staying for they tell themselves, well, I'm staying for the kids. Okay, legitimate concern, but
Yeah.
then your kids have to see you in a suffering state,
Yes,
and then
yes,
they
and you
learn.
can't hide it. You cannot hide that.
I'm gonna just talk bluntly because that's the only way I know how to talk with people. Look, you're in a relationship. If you're We're gonna talk from the woman's side and the man's side.
Mhm.
If you are in a relationship of uh romantic relationship with someone, the person is a negative force in your life. You have two children, maybe a boy and a girl. You stay in that relationship. Let's say the man is abusive. Then your boy is going to learn how to abuse women.
Mhm.
Your girl is going to learn how to be abused.
Yeah.
You are not doing your children any favors.
Yep. Yeah, the cycle continues, because if you can't heal it, the next generation is meant to,
Yes. And this
right?
is something that people don't understand, the responsibility that they bear when
Mhm.
it is that you have kids and you are in situations like this.
Yes, and the thing is, people take it so personal that it's a representation of them not being worthy, or there's some kind of fault within them. Heck no. Can we just address that right now? You are perfect as you are meant to be, my friends. You are chose this life, you chose your body, you chose your personality, and it is exceptional. Can we just embrace it? It's just that you connected to something that was meant to be an opportunity to look and understand yourself deeper, so you can bring the best experience and version to the person that's meant to see and hold space with you.
Yeah, which reminds me, honestly, guys, from the man's side point of view, if you are in a relationship which is toxic, and I want you guys to hear me and hear OP,
Mhm.
if you are in a relationship which is toxic right now and so on, and you're hearing our voice, we're saying to you that sometimes taking on the grief is better than taking on the trauma.
Yeah, grief is a privilege, honestly.
Yeah, it is. It
It
is a,
really is.
it is an opportunity for expansion as well.
Yeah, it really, it puts you in a state of vulnerability to receive. And it's receiving, understanding layers and depths of who you are.
Yes.
Right? And it's interesting because when you heal that, you stand so much stronger from it as well. Now, David, listen, I can't hold it back anymore. I mean, I know you kind of let the top off of the box here, but I need people to understand what I am excited about launching, okay? So I have been conceptualizing, and David is birthing this baby with me, and I am so excited for our baby. So the Grief Connection is a community that I am going to be launching, where we are going to be supporting people and providing that connection, the validation, and not only a lot of reflection and growth pieces. I want us to have worksheets. I want mediumship reads. I want psychic mediums who are up and coming and want to support people on a deeper connection. I want entrepreneurs experiencing healing modalities to come be a part of this experience. I want the community to receive psychological, spiritual, physical supports, because everybody experiences grief in their life. Everybody. And if we can't not receive, then we can also learn how to support other people in our path with this. So it is something that I have really seen a huge need for in my community, in the people that come to me. And again, I can only provide so much in a session. And this is a way that it can continue on, not only through my heart and soul, but all the other connection points that will come through this community for other souls.
Yes. We mentioned earlier on that community is important. There are not enough
Mm,
practitioners in this planet to service 8 billion people. It is just a statement of fact.
yeah,
So you have a lot of people who are in crisis and who are hurting. Now, the
yeah.
funny thing about it is that even when you are in crisis or hurting, you can actually help yourself by helping someone else. And so we're trying to pull people into a community where they can support each other. And this community is not going to be one of those communities like, this social media nonsense that where people come in and give TikTok advice like, oh, you're grieving? Go, I don't know,
Do you think,
down a
David,
tree
for
or
a
something.
second, Opie is TikTok advice? Let me tell you, folks, anybody that's been to me knows I will get you moving forward and I'll get you excited about it.
Yeah, ditto. Ditto. That's why we connect.
Right?
That's why we connect.
Yeah,
Guys,
I
go ahead.
want people to have a resource. I want people to have a reference. I want
Mhm.
people to build each other up in this community, and I don't want any of the bullshit.
Yes. There's a lot of bullshit to be had, which is why we try to get people off of social media because a lot of it is toxic. We
Yeah.
try to build a social media that is absent of the nonsense.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see all that comes from it, but one thing I have learned about grief is that it has connection points to relationships ending, losing a loved one, life trauma, life altering experiences, financial impacts. I mean, there's not a situation that doesn't have a component of grief. So that's where I know it will resonate with so many individuals.
I love what you're doing, and I hope that people who are listening to this, when this platform is ready for you guys, come in and interact with people,
Hmm.
because a lot of you guys are shut down. Even on this live, we're opening it up. If you guys can ask whatever questions, just type it into Facebook. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if Instagram is having an issue, but if you just type it into Facebook, we can answer you right now. The
Yeah.
thing about it is that you guys need to be able to actually reach out to people. Life is too short to be living it in an insular kind of thought pattern. However, I will say a lot of people have become insular because they've ran into a lot of mean people who are
Hmm.
carrying trauma,
Yeah.
but they didn't get the help. So they decided that they were going to be mean people. And
Yeah.
so it shuts down people who actually want to reach out, but they can't reach out.
Hurt people hurt
Hurt
people.
people, correct.
Yeah. And that is so true. When you understand that, it's so important to do the work to get yourself recognizing what's happening within you.
I also want to say something here. If you look at this from an energetic perspective, okay, let's assume that you believe that there is such a thing as evil in this world,
Mm,
just hypothetically,
yep.
right? I'm not going to rub up against people's belief systems. Let's say you believe that there's such a thing as evil in this world. You will have to admit that right now evil is running rampant in this world. And you want to know what combats it? Open hearted, happy people.
Yeah. The
And the more
importance
of
of
these we can
that.
produce, the better the world is going to be. We got to push back that tide,
Yeah.
because now we have a tidal wave of negativity. We got a whole bunch of like political nonsense happening, which
Hmm.
is stressing people out. We
Yeah.
have companies exploiting people and so on. And we got to push that tidal wave back, which is why creating communities like Grief Connection is very, very important.
Yeah. You know, it was very interesting too. If anybody checked out my stories recently, a lot of the news, I don't even watch the news because the energy components for me just being a
Yeah.
psychic medium. But in my community recently, a lady with a pumpkin farm who has been well established in the community all of a sudden had to put a post out, and this poor soul was very vulnerable in asking for help because the frost has come early here in Winnipeg Beach, and her whole crop was on the verge of being lost.
Hmm.
And it was the most powerful thing for me to watch her to put a cry out for help, because here's the thing: being emotional and recognizing the challenge that you're up against and reaching out and asking for help, and the vulnerability of nobody showing up for you. I mean, that would be putting yourself in such a state. This woman had over 100 people show up. Not only did they have people to pick the whole crop in time, they had people to massage people's hands, they
Yes,
had people to show up to give food, coffee, support, all the aspects showing up as a miracle. And that opportunity would have not been provided if we did not step into the vulnerability of connecting to our community.
correct. You see the power of community. I like the fact that she reached out. That is
Oh,
epic. When you see some in all of the darkness that we see around us, there is some light. People will show up if
yes.
you reach out, especially when they can relate to what you're going through.
Yes. And David, we attract some beautiful light, don't we?
Yes, we do. Yes, I will have to say that we do. Right.
We do.
Honestly speaking, when it is that we in the past, when I've seen these little aspects of light, I'm like, it gives you a kind of happiness inside that, things aren't always going to go the other way, that
Yes,
people will
yes.
actually show up and actually help each other and not expect to be paid for every little thing. That, which is another
Yes.
thing. The mercenary outlook is a bit old at this point. We
Hmm.
need to get back to points of view where people can actually talk to people and say, "Oh, hi, good morning. Well, that'll be $5." We, we've been conditioned, and we need to decondition people from this.
Yes. Now, can we just also give one more component of light unexpectedly for people? This is our last little surprise I want to share because
Mm.
I want to know what people are doing February 21st next year and November 14th because
Hmm.
Opie's coming back to Connexus and David's going to be there, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be there. OP is going to have a audience read. Is it an audience read? Yes, at Connexus in February and in November next year in the city of Regina. So for those of you who are watching this, I want you guys to just think about being there, because I can guarantee you it is a lot of fun, and then you get to meet people who are actually smiling
Yeah.
and
And
being trying to be happy.
our community can connect and support each other in person as well as the small business as well with the vendors.
Yeah. So you guys could look forward to that. On my side, we have an empowered caregivers course that is being put out there into public, and pain management without the use of opioids. A lot of people think that the only way to manage pain is by taking a pill. No.
Oh,
So now Integrative Health Network. I want to just do a shout out to a few people.
please, please.
So, Integrative Health Network, which is a group that we've put together of professionals and so on, we're putting out an empowered caregivers course. There are a lot of people who are taking care of loved ones and family members, and they have no idea what to do, navigate the
Mm,
healthcare system, and so on. And they are overwhelmed, they're overburdened, and so on. So, we're putting something out there that is affordable for people so that they can actually learn the skill sets of empowered caregiving, right? Because they're not working, because they have to take care of their family members, especially the
yeah,
elderly, and they have no clue as where to start with that. How to manage medication, how to manage healthcare professionals, the doctors, and so on. And what we're doing is putting that out there, and we're putting that out there in the most affordable way possible. The second thing
amazing.
that I want to say is that people need a pain management course, which doesn't involve popping pills every 4 hours. And so, yeah, yeah. And
And listen,
this is something that I don't understand. Why wouldn't that be a thing? Why did Integrative Health Network have to come up with putting a pain management series out there so that people can learn to stay away from opioids and instead of ending up on fentanyl and stuff like that? That's a
oh,
big problem where I live.
yes, yes. And here's the thing, if you're not up against it now, you will be at some point.
Yes, because pain management is something that everyone should learn. They should
Yeah.
have that as a subject in school, because
No,
eventually
yeah.
you're going to run into it. Okay? Eventually you're going to run into it. No one is escaping this life without some kind of pain. Okay? And
Hmm.
this is an integrative health network effort that we're trying to put out, because we're actually trying to do something good in the community. The last thing I want to do a shout out is to Sarah Fox Smith and Sarah Armstrong.
Love it.
These guys are putting off. Sarah Fox Smith is a master's level nurse, and Sarah Armstrong, I don't think I need to introduce her name to anybody. She's very renowned massage therapist, one of the best in the business, and they have put together a health crisis network course for those people who are dealing with major diagnoses such as
Wow.
cancer and so on, and y'all don't know how to navigate it, and the loved ones also don't know how to navigate it. These are the kind of incentives that are going to take people from a place of crunch
Yeah.
to a place of, you mean somebody's actually trying to help me? We're putting these things out in an affordable manner so that people can actually get help
Yeah. And
instead of
you're
just
not just a
staying like
number,
this.
you're seen.
Okay? Guys, there is help, and help is on the way, and we'll keep putting out these things,
Hmm.
these outreach programs, and you can choose to stay insular in the basement by yourself or whatever else, or you can try one more time to reach out.
And listen, the best thing about trying is you can see if something works for you or not, but not trying is it's not going to work.
Yeah, because community is the cheapest form of support that you're ever going to get.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And the amount of information you can get from it is just incredible. I'm so excited, David.
Yes, because what OP is presenting there is it's going to have professionals that actually still want to do the work.
Yeah. Yeah. And support you in all these different ways because I love connecting people to other healers or support systems. That's one of the things I really cherish about my work is connecting you to the right piece next.
Yes. So, guys, well, I suspect we've reached Instagram's maximum time for
I
streaming.
think so. I think so. But listen, I'm going to post on my page about the triggers course, okay? And the 50% discount. You got to check out and follow Unified Health because David is doing incredible work with both Sarahs and just keep watching because there's more to happen with everything next year.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, on in my community, if you're watching this, you can find OP's page at OP's Connection,
OP connection.
OP
Yep.
Connection,
Yep.
right? And you can find my page at Unified Health Regina. Okay,
Yes. Thanks so much, you guys, for being a part of it tonight.
all right, and I'll see you guys later.